What do you think the situation with our environment is today? How do you explain what did you call it? Do you call it climate crisis or environmental crisis, global warming?
You know, there are some people that said, oh, well, they changed it from global warming to climate change because it wasn't doing what they said it was going to do, so they had to come up with a new name. And that's bunk. That's just total bunk. I talked to a gentleman who's written extensively about this, and he said the reason they changed it to climate change or started talking about it like that is that global warming didn't fully encapsulate all of the different effects that we were seeing and would see. There are actually some parts of the globe that have cooled a little bit over the last 30 years. The southeast U.S. is actually one of them. And then you also have, you know, things like drought and extremes and flooding and all these other things that global warming really doesn't describe. So the way I like to look at this, there's a professor of really well-respected professor of atmospheric science at MIT, Kerry Emanuel, and I love the way he looks at this. He said, this is risk assessment. He said, you know, if somebody told you there was a 2% chance that if you let your 2-year-old daughter cross the street without you holding her hand, that she'd get killed, would you let her do it?
Wow, that's pretty compelling.
And the thing about it is, there is a chance. You know, scientists don't know everything. There is a chance that something could happen, or we'll learn something that maybe this won't turn out to be as bad as we had feared. But if we clean up the environment and come up with better ways to use renewable energy, what have we lost?
Hear, hear.
So I guess that's where I see it right now. And really, when I think about, you know, a lot of the skeptics will constantly say, well, you need to prove. If you can't prove the Earth is going to be this much warmer by the year 2050 or 2080 or whatever, then why should we take action? I actually look at that a different way. It's their responsibility to prove that it's zero risk. Because if they can't prove that, then we have entered into the world of risk assessment by definition.
Right.
And we have to decide how much we're willing to tolerate. So I don't think we should get defensive about having to prove something we can't honestly prove. We have good evidence, but, you know, it's one of those things where I would say back to them, how lucky do you feel?
I told a good friend of mine that we were doing this today, and I'm really excited for him to hear these things that you're saying and for everybody, because this is such a common sense way of looking at it. And I fear that a lot of good people just don't understand the bad that they're doing by not doing anything. Or it's not, you know, they're probably doing something at home, but they are often supporting politicians who really fight this and will not do anything to get proper legislation in.